Panel discussion, and this one's going to be on research-based learning, skill development, and multidisciplinary approach, a robust ecosystem in higher education institutions. And to do the honors of moderating the session, we have with us Dr. Sharanabasappa Harwal, Vice President, Hyderabad, Karnataka Education Society. Let's welcome him on stage with a huge round of applause. Dr. Sharanabasappa Harwal, a very warm welcome to you, sir. It's an honor and pleasure to have you here with us. Also, let's welcome our other panel speakers, Dr. Kuldeep Kumar Raina, Vice Chancellor, MS Ramaiah University of Applied Science. A very warm welcome to you, Dr. Kuldeep, if you're here with us. All right. Professor Dr. Raj Singh, Vice Chancellor, JAIN deemed to be University. Do we have Dr. Raj Singh here with us? Dr. Manish Kothari, Managing Director, ISBR Group of Institutions. I think they're out at their stalls. A very warm welcome to you. Please join us on stage. Dr. Kuldeep Kumar Raina, Professor Dr. Raj Singh, Dr. Manish Kothari, Managing Director, ISBR Group of Institutions, Dr. Puttaraju, Vice Chancellor, Mandya University, Dr. N.V. Subba Reddy, Pro Vice Chancellor, CMR University. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Let's welcome them all with a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Last but definitely not the least, Mr. Jayant Prakash, Account Director and Regional Lead South Academics and Government, LinkedIn. A very warm welcome back. So over to Dr. Sharanabasappa to kindly moderate this session. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon to one and all. It's a great pleasure for me to be part of this New Normal Education Leadership Summit 2023. This is very important for nowadays program, because all these from independence we are learning old techniques. In 2020, new education policy has been started, and Karnataka was the first to introduce new education policy throughout India. So I congratulate Karnataka government also, and all the colleges, universities of Karnataka for making a new education policy system to start at the earliest. So all this time we have talked about only school, preschool or school. This is very important in the school age also, because at the school age, the grasping power of the kid is very high compared to adults. So when we start any new education policy system, we should start in the younger age group only. But after completing this school, now the session is for higher education. Today we are dealing with research-based learning skill development and multidisciplinary approach, a robust ecosystem in higher education institutions. All these three, research-based learning, one, skill development, and multidisciplinary approach, all these three are interlinked for the development and progress of the individual as well as the country also. Now India is almost in the 5th place in the world, both economy as well as in the education. India is producing very rich educationalists which will sound knowledge. Our Indians are growing very fast in Western world also. They are in the very big position. So it is very great for Indians that they are in good position. Now at this juncture, we have to discuss about the research-based learning, which is very important from day-to-day life. In higher education, like they should do PhDs or engineering students or for any medical students. For all the branches, research is very important. Only research itself is not important. It should be patented and it should be published and it should be marketed in the market, and which should fetch some profit. All these things should be profit-oriented. Skills are more important. Every day we should develop new skills, new techniques to enlighten whole education system. So we should have good skills and techniques in all the situations. And all the multidisciplinary approaches. So
it's a parallel discussion.
Yes, I'll start before.
Your picture is not copying with the parallel, so please be seated.
Okay. Okay. Without wasting much of the time, directly I will ask our panelists to speak about. Now, my question is to Dr. Puttaraju. How can higher education institutions in Karnataka promote research-based learning among students and faculty? Puttaraju, sir.
Good afternoon, and I sincerely thank the organizers for giving this great opportunity to share our experiences. I'm basically a civil engineer, and I was part and parcel of this higher education system for the last 35 years. 20 years I was the principal of an engineering college in Bengaluru, and I thought of integrating this skill-based learning, research-based learning, and all these sorts of things that we usually come to know during all these presentations. I am going to share one experience because until unless I give the one experiment I did in the engineering college during my 20 years of principal post. I called all the heads of the departments and experts in the different domains, disciplines, and I created a couple of makerspace rather instead of laboratory. And I coined an idea. I gave one project, and the project should be made into different modules, and each module represents one domain. It could be physics, civil engineering, mechanical, or chemistry, different domains. And the problem should be addressed with different domains, and each expert would give solutions to that. When I started this initiation almost 10 years back, very first instant, people are not knowing what is happening in this makerspace. I said, this is how the college classroom should be. We should remove all these desks, we should remove all these patterns of sitting and listening. And it was like more of this kind of environment in the classroom. And students started thronging onto that makers laboratory with the faculty members and coming with some new innovative ideas for the project and problems. Research, what we basically do is sit alone and start doing some research, synthesis of chemical components, or doing some research on something else in silos. But in the classrooms, particularly in higher education, students are not given this opportunity. For the laboratory, people will be going to the laboratory, do some set of experiments, maybe 18 or 20 of them, and they don't know how to relate with the theoretical aspects that they study in advance. But in this laboratory, if you can break open the basic concepts of teaching and learning, I teach, you learn, listen for 1 hour, it is merely a waste of time. And this is happening in India for the last so many decades. And I think this is the time we need to come out with out of this conservative outlook, see that students and faculty members are given new space of thinking. So that Makers Laboratory had done tremendous impact on the students and teachers. Students would come out with some innovative idea, and they are really able to communicate amongst their group Until that point, they were not really coming out and talking to their peers and groups in the discussions. And when we started doing this, communication improved, the skilling improved, and new component of research, okay, this could be the possibility from the other domain. So integrating the multidisciplinary thing onto a problem and skilling the students along with the teachers happened side by side. So in higher education, let us not separate the skilling research and other things. Research, it could be not on the highest level. Beginning the patents and publications is totally different research. Whereas here, in the undergraduate and higher education, research is understanding something new. The issue is the budgetary provisions from the, you must have seen, we need to create infrastructure for that. And we need to upskill the teachers. It was really a big financial burden on the institutions and on the government side. I have seen for the last so many years, almost 2 decades, our spend on education is 3.5% on the GDP on education. It should have been 10%. If not 10%, it should have been 6%. You take either state government or central government, it is not more than 3.5%. And without fund, where is the research? Where is the skilling? And this is the problem it is the education system in the country is facing. And private institutions, I know, for example, MS Ramaiah School of Advanced Studies, it's a university, it's a private. The private players can do definitely bring this skilling and research into the higher education and see that students are all very comfortable. So in a nutshell, in higher education, it is quite possible to bring these elements into the education with a new pedagogy, integrating the technology into the pedagogy. That is very important. Blended mode of teaching learning, that is very important. And all these aspects, if can be incorporated, we can definitely change the culture, the ecosystem in the colleges. See that the students, they love to go to the classrooms and colleges to see the new environment. Only then we can expect some tangible results from our higher education. Otherwise, we will be wasting our valuable energy, this huge manpower, the demographic dividend we are supposed to reap, that will definitely we are going to fail if we do not create enough infrastructure and the ecosystem in the college. That's what I wanted to tell for this August studying. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening. Now I request Dr. Kuldeep Kumar Raina, Vice Chancellor, MS Ramaiah University, to enlighten us what initiatives are in place to encourage multidisciplinary studies and collaboration among different fields of study in higher education institutions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Harwal. So nice. And compliments to all my panelists on this dais. And thank you, Mr. Anand, for choosing us to be at a time. Don't take decisions when you are hungry and angry, right? So therefore, we are not taking any decisions of that kind. But I know none is angry here; they may be hungry. So, friends, it's a great pleasure to be amongst you all and amongst such distinguished panelists. I think it is the apt theme which the organizers have chosen. If you look at its context, we would discuss and deliberate. But looking at research-based learning, skill development and multidisciplinary approach, a robust ecosystem in higher education institutions is what is required at present. When it comes to multidisciplinary, I think in this country we have thousands and thousands of the institutions who cater to developing and nurturing their students, their talent, to face the future challenges in the country and at a global level too. Ramaiah University is slightly different because we are, in a sense, truly multidisciplinary. Whether you talk of engineering sciences, you talk of social sciences, you talk of legal sciences, you talk of any other health sciences, medical sciences we have. I think it is a true laboratory or the Prayogshala where students get all the opportunities to hybridize with their peers, the students, the siblings, in discussing, deliberating what is going to be good for their career path. And we in the university always try to encourage such synergy of what is being taught in the class and what is the experiential learning. Fortunately, our establishment dates back to over 60 years of our existence. And I am sure that when we look at the diversity that we have created, not only in the state of Karnataka, and not only in our own country, but if we go to the diaspora also, I think we have many, many enriched minds who have studied from the portals of that beautiful campus, and they are making us proud. Research is not what is PhD, in my opinion. I think postgraduate, I will do PhD to get a job as a faculty. I think we should slightly erase it or put it under the question mark. I think the present context with the globalization of education and putting our institutions in that forefront is very, very challenging. But if it is challenging, there are many opportunities as I see. I have seen students from the premier institutions of this country at undergraduate and postgraduate levels, even doing the projects. And they say these are our research projects. So research has percolated to the thought process of undergraduate, maybe BA, BSc, BTech students and MBBS students, and then got elevated to the postgraduates too. So this thought process, which is embedded into developing a fully flexible systems and empowering students to think beyond the classroom and think beyond the textbooks, is very much relevant. I urge each one of you friends that don't think I will do first the MSc, MTech or others and do PhD, that is going to be research. Certainly not. PhD is a prerequisite to get into the university system of teaching learning process, not at the lower levels. But we have seen over the years, the number of PhDs is increasing in the colleges. That is good. And there are some school principals I have met over the last couple of years. They are themselves the PhD holders in social sciences, in sciences, so on and so forth. The happiness part is this research thought process that can be only with PhD is now coming to the school culture. But are we multiplying this factor or not is a very, very big issue. For that, I think we should not confine ourselves only to the institution where I work. There is a lot of diversity. In the panel, we have a very good distinguished friend, Dr. Puttaraju. He comes from the governmental system, and all of us are in the private system. Can we synergize our faculty, our infrastructure, our capabilities, our resources to help each other? Whether he is your student or our student, but he is a nationalist, true to the core that I want to learn. If we provide him or her ample opportunities, I think that is the service to the nation, that is service. So for that, let us try to associate ourselves, not only in the formal MOUs, they become the piece of papers and the validity is gone after its time period is over. I think let us try to create such an environment where your students and our students exchange the ideas, sit together, brainstorm, deliberate, and they may come with the projects. Wherever you see that we have the expertise and we see you have the expertise, let there be joint guidance, joint help, not only for the PhD thesis guidance, it can be even at the undergraduate as well as the postgraduate projects. Friends, skilling is what is very much required. I got late reaching here because from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, we had a very elusive discussions on how to empower our students in learning. In this country, each one of us know that we have produced so many graduates and the postgraduates. They have a wonderful degree, BTech in this, BSc in this, clinical psychology, so on and so forth. But when it comes to the experiential learning, there is a gap. And this gap is harming the nation in particular. And that's why we sometimes say the overseas education is better. With the globalization coming in the higher education domain, and the government of India and the state government is thinking of inviting foreign universities to our country, I think we have equal right that we can also become equal participator in this change. There are some very elite, illustrious groups in higher education of our own country who have set up the campuses abroad. Now, what changes are they bringing into the education system? I am sure the management knows, but it is not becoming as a public domain, in the public domain, that what are the best practices. So for that, we need to empower. There has to be extra cautious in skilling the people, but what kind of skill? Can we understand at the school level or at the college level, what is the passion of this boy or a girl? We give the degree. Everyone is churn in the same mill. But it is not that everyone has a passion for that. Because of peer pressure, because of affordability, because of non-affordability, sometimes we lose the talent and it gets sinked in not doing where he or she has the passion. So my friends, very distinguished colleagues who are in our listeners group here, can you go back to your school? Can you go to the back of your college? Interact with 10, 20 students. As a parent, as a mentor, as a guide, ask them where your interests are. I will tell you, you will see a big shift what we are teaching on the blackboard. Not blackboard as a ERP tool, but blackboard is where we used to study and learn from, and the realities. I think this analysis is going to help us in identifying the pathways for all those who have shown faith in us as the students and the parents who give their best of the people, best of the minds, the hottest, the pupil of the eye to be taught by us. We, the teachers, have a great role to play. On behalf of Ramaiah University of Applied Sciences, I assure you that anyone who wants to seek any support from us, any help from us, on behalf of our Honorable Chancellor, I am committed to bring a change, and for that we are there to help and support every time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for elaborating both undergraduate as postgraduate levels and globalization also. And now I request Raj Singh to elaborate on what role can research and innovation hubs within higher education systems play in fostering a culture of research and skill development.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, my distinguished co-panelists. Thank you, LinkedIn and ArdorComm, for having me this afternoon here. A lot has been spoken about multidisciplinarity and some examples given of skill development. And my question is how innovation hubs can help you attain some of the things which this session aims to achieve. I think first and foremost thing which innovation hubs do, I'll come to straightway brass tacks, which can be done through multidisciplinarity. So I'll build upon that. Multidisciplinary approach expands the canvas, expands the opportunities of learning. Otherwise, there's no purpose of multidisciplinarity. And for this, my first prescription is we need to understand the semantics of multidisciplinarity, interdisciplinarity, and transdisciplinarity. Because to my understanding, and I'm being very, very liberal when I say this, 90% of us do not understand the subtle differences among these three terms. We use them interchangeably. Multidisciplinarity, most of the universities are, as was pointed out by Dr. Raina and the previous speaker, but they existing in isolation does not help. And I'll come to why it is relevant to innovation hubs. You study disciplines in isolation, don't interact, it is called multidisciplinary. Most universities are. When two disciplines come together, start interacting with each other, start borrowing concepts, frameworks from each other and start applying it for real life problem solutions, it becomes interdisciplinary. So being multidisciplinary need not necessarily become interdisciplinary. Giving them multiple specialization does not necessarily become interdisciplinary. You need to interact, you need to implement the concepts in each other. When these interacting disciplines are used to solve the real life problems, it becomes transdisciplinary. And that's the ultimate objective of what was spoken by the moderator about national education policy. It says, take research to innovation and practice. Most of us do research, we do master's thesis, we do PhD thesis, MPhil thesis. We do not know what happens after that. If I request each one of you to please trace your PhD thesis, you'll say, give me 1 week and I'll find out where it is lying there. Because we don't do anything with the research beyond that. Until and unless research is used for problem solving of real life, it's of no use. As the famous scientist Dr. R.A. Mashelkar often says, research converts data and information into knowledge. and keeps on consuming money. And we always say, like Sir mentioned, we have only this percentage of allocation to research. To my mind, we don't need any money, to be frank with you. If we can convert this knowledge back into money, for which you require innovation, and that's where the role of innovation hubs comes in. Innovation hub on the university campus should have only one single objective: extending research to innovation practice. Friends, last 3-4 years we have seen there's been tremendous demand on the innovation system of the country. When COVID struck us, people said, come on guys, deliver vaccine. And the scientists delivered it in record time. Now the expectations have gone up further. And expectations say, don't find a solution to the current problems. Predictive problems which will come in after 1 year and find solution at once. Now there's a huge demand on the innovation system. How will you do it? Universities are an important part of the innovation system, without which the system is incomplete. And coming to the university, professors alone cannot do research. Until and unless you involve students in this, we cannot achieve much. In any case, where we stand in the Global Innovation Index, we all know. We are at level 40 now. In last 6-7 years, we come from 81 to 40, which is mainly indicated by the number of patents we file. I may be slightly off the mark. Last year, we filed about 66,000 patents. In the same time, China filed 3 million. Now, where do we stand? Only 40. We need to move up. And not only filing the patents, getting them granted, getting them commercialized, and through innovation we can commercialize the concepts that are innovative and then convert that knowledge back into the money. Innovation hubs also bring in multidisciplinarity, interdisciplinarity, which Professor mentioned. See, my main contention is that we all know what has to be done. NEP has articulated what has to be done in 25 pages document. All the conferences we say what has to be done, but we very less talk about how to do it. And for that we need to develop instruments which faculty can go and use it on day one. When they go to the classroom, they should use it. The frameworks need to be defined at the grassroots level. And therefore, to summarize what I said, number one, make research a part of your teaching learning plan. Who stops us from using a research paper as part of continuous assessment? We should use it. Define skills in a column against each course. For example, if you're teaching accounting, write Tally software. If you're teaching quantitative methods, write Excel, Advanced Excel, SPSS, SAS, whatever you want to teach, and teach it as part of the course. Skills cannot be developed offline. That somebody goes and teaches, second person comes and develops skills, it won't happen. It needs to be integrated into teaching learning, and that's what is required to be integrated into the plan. Every software, every hardware, every skill. Now UGC has told 4 types of skills we need in our students. What are they? The human skills, the cultural skills, the digital skills, universal human values, all those kind of skills need to be integrated. And they have to match with the level. So the innovation hubs, if they are on the campus, or whatever name you want to call it by, you can simply say innovation center or whatever name is given by the regulatory authorities. It brings a catalyst in bringing different disciplines together, work on finding solutions to real life problems. And if you can take it beyond which you have taken as a university, I represent JAIN University, by the way, in Bangalore. Can this innovation be taken to next level and make every student earn when they learn? They should not remain anymore a burden on the parents or the society. They should not look at the funds from industry, whether government or private sector, or parents. They should be able to generate themselves from day one. I can talk about this concept if time permits or off the session. We have taken this research and innovation to that level where every student is able to earn his or her fees while he is a student, and some of them are even supporting the parents rather than becoming burden on the parents. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I request Dr. Manish Kothari, Managing Director, ISBR institution, group of institutions, to share a few words about, can you share examples of higher education in Karnataka that have successfully integrated practical skill development into their programs? My question is, can you share examples of higher education institutions in Karnataka that have successfully integrated practical skill development into their programs?
First of all, thank you. Thank you, Doctor, and a great afternoon to all the members of the panel. It has been so many times that we have met, and meeting again is good because interacting outside the community, outside the institution that we live in is always a pleasure. And when we sit together, the ideas that we finally discuss is towards the common good of the society. So we should meet. So thanks to Chandananand, Ardor, I think for getting us together again and again. You deserve a great round of applause for the opportunities that you create for education institutions to come together. So this is from all of us. I have one of my Guruji, my faculty, who's taught me during my MBA. My HR has been learned from him in Hubli. He is in the audience. So I think I would first like to pass on my pranam to you, Dr. M.M. Bagliji. Thank you. Seeing you here is such a pleasure. I think it's about 10 plus years and I am seeing you here. I could from here see you and I could remember the moments in the classroom where you had to come to the classroom and immediately ask, who is the CEO of ABC company? And each one of us used to look at each other. And our whole education is first recognizing our Guru. And thank you. Nice to see you here. What a topic this is. I think we are all blessed to speak about something that is so important in higher education institution. We are in an Amrit Kal. The whole India is talking of the next 25 years, which is going to be the world looking at us. We are at a stage where everyone is looking at what India is going to do to the world. Narendra Modi ji in the recent talk said, it's time we take India to the world. And let's showcase what we are, and I think almost all of us are doing it. We as leaders of higher education institution have a very prominent role to play. Very prominent role to play because we shape the future of these generations. Without taking much time, I would like to just take about one of the international case studies where one university produced about great leaders. All these leaders went into a company and they were leading this company at the top level. There was one scam that was brought out by this company, and the government and the team got together to understand how did this happen. And then they analyzed maximum of these people were a part of one strong Ivy League institutions of this world. And they then realized that higher education institutions plays a very prominent role in putting in ethics and values into these people when they go out. And that is when higher education institutions were given the role of also adding values to this people. That is why I appreciate this topic. Research-based learning, skill development and multidisciplinary approach, and wherein an ecosystem for higher education institutions. Yes, many institutions has worked towards this. I would also add value-based learning to this, so that this combination of all these four pillars is what we see as higher education institution framing things forward. When it comes to research-based learning, at ISBR Business School, we have formed a research center and we have made every stakeholder a part of this research center. Let it be students, let it be the faculty, let it be the industry that works together. It took almost 2 years for us to make a system, and the first year there were about 25 papers published by the student. Last year there were about 200 papers published by students, and this year we would like to in fact see about 80% of the students publishing papers. The outcome, the whole learning has been that a student with research and a student 5 years back without research, the whole approach to industry problem is different when he goes through research. Dr. Raj Singh said about it, and I am happy that the whole education fraternity is giving an importance to research to take things forward. When it comes to skill development, what we have done at ISBR institution is we have started what is known as an ISBR Student Success Center. This was planned 2 years ago, but it has come into implementation. This is the first year of its implementation, wherein every student is now a unique product of the institution. The strategies that are formulated is towards each student and not towards a class. The whole intention is to see that each product, when it comes out to the market, it shines. And this Student Success Center is going on well. In some times, maybe when I meet, I would like to spend more details on the whole structure of the Student Success Center. When it comes to multidisciplinary approach, I think institutions in Karnataka have taken a leap step towards creating the student learning groups, live projects, and center of excellence, including faculty to become an integral part of the system and take it forward. A few case studies you have asked me. In Karnataka, I would like to give some case studies of Karnataka and international universities that they are doing. One of the case studies I would like to talk about is IIITB. IIITB with its own incubation center and partnership with ISBR Business School to see that we also nurture management part of this incubation center has seen that there is a 360-degree towards the student learning, towards the students experiencing, and towards the student reaching out to the market. Something that you should be working on. IIM Bangalore has a very unique concept. What happens at IIM Bangalore, and I could get inputs from this directly from the students of IIM Bangalore. Every faculty finally designs his or her own courses and finally in tandem with the industry and presents it to the students at large. The students, on the other hand, with the use of technology, decides which course is he going to be a part of. They vote for taking a course. Now the course that gets 0 participations are slowly weeded out. Now, here, every student who applies for the course is not 100% a part of the course. The faculty then interviews the student and sees whether he is even capable of completing this course. So this whole dynamics runs about for 10 or 15 days, and finally the alignment between the students and the course happens. A unique case study, get into the details of it, and it has its own success and the outcomes planned. I would also like to talk about one case study which I came to know when I was in one of the meeting rooms with a guest, with Dr. Raj. This is at the JAIN University. An amazing phenomena wherein they are working with the students to make every student a solo entrepreneur. I mean, amazing. They are not looking at giving employees to the world. They are looking at giving employers to the world. Is that the real India? Yes, that is the real India. I mean, sometimes if we could really address the gathering on that case, amazing. Harvard, Kellogg's and Wharton, I'm going outside Karnataka also, together worked to create innovation cells. They have worked to create companies on campus. They have created labs for almost every courses that they offer on campus. That means a student spends 1/3 of its time learning, whereas he spends 1/3 of its time practically working on the systems. ISBR also has gone to an extent of creating 3 such labs in the institution. Are they doing well? Mark my words, 3 a.m. you visit the institution and there's a student waiting to get his turn for the lab. Practically we have seen this, and the finance lab is working 24/7 round the clock for students' appointments to be taken. I would also like to take one of the case studies of ISBR Business School, wherein the students' ambassadorship program has started, wherein every student by themselves co-create managing of the institution by themselves. And the outcome is measured. The performance of the institution has grown multifold by these activities. As we move ahead, I think we will discuss this in detail, but I mean there are so many cases that we can discuss on. Thank you once again, Ardor, for this great opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. You have elaborated in a very broad way. Now I request Dr. N.V. Subba Reddy, Vice Chancellor, CMR University, to enlighten us. How can higher education institutions bridge the gap between academics knowledge and industry relevant skills in Karnataka? Over to Dr. Subba Reddy.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are talking about bridging gap between what is happening in the classroom and what is the expectation of industries. With reference to academia knowledge and industry relevant skill sets. So in academia, so we are supporting students to develop knowledge. But industry, they need relevant skill sets. So that is the huge gap what we are envisaging in contemporary scenario. Bridging gap between academia knowledge and industry relevant skills is a shared responsibility. Education institutions, industries, and government bodies should come together to ensure that students should get not only well-rounded education, holistic education, what we call, but also well-rounded skill-based education, which is very important in current scenario. I believe that education is not only, education is about not only acquiring knowledge, but also about developing relevant skill sets. That is very, very important. We have to assure all students in the entry level itself that we are going to, students are going to acquire relevant skill sets such as design thinking skills, soft skills like communication, problem solving skills, and adaptability, that is very much appreciated by the industry. Critical thinking, that is also important, and behavioral skills, business skills, programming skills, and working in collaboration, that is also important. And more important aspect is leadership skills. So students supposed to acquire many such skills. Then only we can say that we have developed students. Now we imparted holistic education to all the students. So what is the roadmap? That is the issue. Always we speak and right. And what is the roadmap and what is the action plan? That is very important for all of us, for all teaching fraternity. You know, we have well-developed ecosystem for education, right? Over the years it has developed. But we need a similar ecosystem in enhancing skills of our students. That is very important in the current scenario. And another ecosystem, you may say that research ecosystem, that is also developing, right? Research ecosystem and skill enhancement ecosystem, they play a very important role in the lives of our students, especially in the professional life, right? So my focus is on developing ecosystem to enhance skills of our students. Now, what are the elements of the skill-based ecosystem, right? It is developing, and it starts with developing relevant curriculum, right? Industry relevant curriculum, Though we say that holistic education, but the situation, right, ultimately the purpose of what the students, we are receiving at the entry level, the main purpose is they should get a decent job, right? They should contribute for the society, right, while working. And that is going to be identity of any institute, right? Goodwill of any institute, right? In that context, so there has to be a system in place where the like-minded people, right, the faculty who are keen to support students towards the skill enhancement should come together. And there has to be a career guidance cell, so that has to identify students' skill sets, right, what they are aspiring, right. That has to be happened in the beginning itself, right. So we should not enforce students that you have to do like this, like that, right. We have to understand them, right. So we have to, the career development cell, right, they should come forward and identify capabilities of students, in which vertical they are good. That is very important, right? Then nurturing, so their capabilities, that is very important. Then some skill enhancement center, right, that can take over the responsibility where, irrespective of the discipline, all the students come together, collaborate. Irrespective of the disciplines, all the faculty should come together and collaborate and support the students, right? Understand what they want and support the students. Just I am mentioning about some of the elements of skill enhancement ecosystem, and all experts you may add, right? So many other elements, it is possible always. Now to take it forward, right? Now, the important element is here, now industry support, right? So industry also integrate in the in this ecosystem collaboration, right? Industry experts should involve. And the society, various aspects are there in the society with regard to real world problems, right? There has to be an opportunity in the curriculum to see that students, right, reach to the society and understand what kind of problems, real life problems, right, society is facing, right. They should come back to the lab, right, and work on those problems and build prototype models, right. So in this regard, one case study just I mentioned, in CMR University, we have Department of Common Core Curriculum, which supports all these initiatives. So thank you once again.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I request JAIN Prakash, Accounts Director and Regional Head South Academics and Government, to enlighten us about academic knowledge and industries, how they should work together for the progress of the country.
Right. First of all, thank you, sir, for having me as a part of this panel. First of all, I mean, congratulations to ArdorComm for putting together such a fabulous panel, right? I think it's an absolute pleasure to be here. And I can see a worried look on Chandan's face, so I'm going to keep my answer very, very quick, right? We're all seeing that we're already out of time. I think there was a very, as part of my earlier presentation, I think I'd spoken about a very interesting Harvard Business Review article that spoke about the number of jobs post-pandemic in the US. There has been a 45% reduction in the jobs that require a bachelor's degree, right? Education institutions are innovating and they're trying to kind of build in all the latest technology into their campuses. At the same time, employers are also looking at other avenues, right? If they're not able to find the right candidate with a degree, they're okay to find the right candidate without a degree, right? In fact, organizations like Google, Microsoft have already are already interviewing candidates who do not have a degree, right? Just to keep just to keep it really short and succinct, I think one of the things that I feel can be critical to bridge the industry-academia gap, right, is I think doing something called as a thorough labor market analysis, right? As an institution, you are in essence supplying students to the demand that is coming in from the corporate world, right? So I think it'll pay rich dividends to kind of keep track of what are the things that are going on the demand side of things, right? And there are multiple organizations which are kind of institutions in the country today which are doing this right now to kind of work with this data and really understand the talent and the skills landscape that are changing. Every few years, every 4 to 5 years, there is roughly a 30% shift in the overall top skills. Just understanding that one simple data point can completely change the game, right? I think that's it. That's precisely what I wanted to just convey. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jayant.
What you want? I think you represent LinkedIn.
Yes.
These guys have an analytical software which gives you the skill set of 38 industry sectors which prevail and almost update in real time. What we did in January 2021, we mapped topic by topic curriculum of each program with the skill set which they want. And you won't believe me, the gaps we found out was minimum was 3% and maximum was 40%. And next 3 months we fill those gaps, decide the curriculum and decide the method of teaching it. I think that's where the brass tacks come in. It's very easy to identify, but how to develop it is the real issue. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Now I request to the audience, if there are any questions, a couple of questions may be permitted to our panelists. Yes. Mike, sir.
Thank you, sir. Excellent panel and multi kind of dimensional approaches followed by various institutions as best practice you have done. So I just wanted to bring in post-Chandrayaan today how we can see our opportunities just around everyday event. In one of the institutions, an experimentation that was done, collecting a cohort of engineering students, mechanical, electronics, computer sciences, including physics, chemistry, management, and law. What they were given as an assignment, that is focusing on that topic that we have, the research-based learning and a multidisciplinary approach. They were asked to just go through this Chandrayaan project, dissect into what is mechanical in it, what is electronics in it, what is computer science, what is software, what is design, and what is the management, team management, etc. The students were asked, and they were given 3 hours time to go just do it, and the way they came out with. And they had to do a lot of research, looking into it. The next level of research for them is compare with Chandrayaan 2, compare with Chandrayaan 3, what was the success factor from Chandrayaan 2 to 3. And the students are asked to go, now they are attempting to talk to the scientists and all that are coming back. I mean, this is the kind of opportunities that today we have in the ecosystem. We've got to use it. And thanks a lot for this. It's not a question, it's also a suggestion. There is also a question in it. How difficult it is for us to find such opportunities. It's only a matter of interest in the faculty. It's the whole idea came up with from the students only. So faculty to translate that idea into an effective project right on the, at that time, the real time. So this is the thing that I think we need to adopt. The sharing of best practices, Dr. Manish Kothari shared what, and also, all of you, Raina sir, this is what is required. Let's create a platform where we have a continuous exchange of such best practices across. And I think it's not only for the higher education, even for school for that matter. There are several such cases that we can share. Let's create that platform.
Just to add, Doctor, to the query, which was a type of an input to everyone, if you just take MSMEs as a whole, you will get so many real-time problems which the students, if they start working on, I think that would be a great level of learning for each one of the students with the faculty. I think, and India has so many such opportunities.
Wonderful question. Just a thought for the lunchtime. Can we change our examination system?
Exactly.
I think that is where the basic issues are embedded. Is 3 hours everything for a career? No. I think there has to be emphasis on continuous learning, continuous evaluation, giving such projects, and because we don't give the marks. So why should there be a passion for anyone to look at, explore the newer areas? We see this is the syllabus, and this is going to make you great. It was greatness at one point of time, but today, with the changing times, I think we have to also slightly look at it, ponder around, is 3-hour examination good? I would say 1 hour is good. See, England offers postgraduate degree for 1 year. Here we offer 2 years. And after COVID, it goes 2.5 years, 2 years, and so on and so on. There is no end to it. I think we need to put a full stop somewhere. But yes, innovate in thinking our own education systems and the pedagogies. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Examination shouldn't be abolished completely. It's not changed completely do away with examination. It's only and only continuous assessment based on the activities that we discussed. And number 2, what Manish said, one is ready-made problems are there. Please start with them. I think a more rigorous system would be let the students identify the problems. Give them 15 days, let them do the research, study the industry structure, and then structure a problem based on what they're facing. Their learning will multiply many, many folds.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. We're highly pressed with time, so I'd like to interrupt, and we're breaking for lunch, and we can discuss further as well. So once again, thank you very much.
Just 1 minute, I'll take only 1 minute. Good afternoon to everybody.
Just mic close, no? Mic close, yes.
Thanking ArdorComm for inviting me as a delegate and for this event, and gathering all the educationists and industrialists at one platform. Myself, Dr. Shanta Devi, Professor, Library and Information Science, and Dean, Social Science Faculty, Karnataka State Akamadevi Women's University, Vijaypura. Considering the educational transformation, as a teacher, I feel that in the rural area, there is a digital gap among the rural students. They are very competent, very strong physically and mentally, but due to some sociological problems and technological gaps, they are lag behind in transforming of their personalities. To fill this gap, our university is working a lot of activities with various sectors, including private sectors. As an NSS coordinator with 9,000 NSS volunteers, we are trying to upgrade these technological learning systems among rural students and women by providing various skill-based training programs like life skill training programs, personality development skills, communication skills, and advanced learning ability skills, etc. In this context, on behalf of our university, I invite all the technological developers present here to support with their innovative suggestions, and also I suggest they can use our volunteership in imparting educational transformation, technological transformation among rural people, particularly among women. Thank you.
Was there a question? All right, thank you, ma'am. I understand with a panel like this, we want to make the best of our time here. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me applaud and appreciate the presence of this highly experienced and esteemed panelists here. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much for your valuable inputs and your time here with us. Having said that, requesting Mr. Jayant Prakash to kindly come ahead and felicitate all our guest speakers here. Starting with our session moderator, Dr. Sharanabasappa. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for very effectively moderating this session. Highly appreciate your time and effort. A huge round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. Applauding and appreciating the presence and inputs of Dr. Kuldeep Kumar Raina, Vice Chancellor, MS Ramaiah University of Applied Sciences. Thank you very much for being here with us, Dr. Kuldeep Kumar Raina. Let's have that applause going, everybody. Applauding the presence of Professor Dr. Raj Singh, Vice Chancellor, JAIN University. Huge round of applause for him. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for being here with us and all your valuable inputs. It's highly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Manish Kothari, Managing Director, ISBR Group of Institutions, for all his energy and his time here with us. Thank you very much for all the beautiful inputs that you gave in. Let's keep that applause going. Now for Dr. Puttaraju, Vice Chancellor, Mandya University. Thank you, sir, for your valuable time, presence, and all the highly appreciated inputs. Thank you very much. Last but definitely not the least, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. N.V. Subba Reddy, Pro Vice Chancellor, CMR University. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your amazing inputs. Last but definitely not the least, to the man himself, Mr. Jayant Prakash from LinkedIn, a huge round of applause and thank you very much. He already received. He's here the third time. Yeah, please join us for a group photograph. After which, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be breaking for the lunch. You can throw in more questions, you can network, you can meet your co-guests and fellow members from the same industry. After which...